I remember when I had got there, you know, cutting with the same sixes. So you like, these jump joints so loud, I can hear nothing, right? But I remember when I did a cut, you had called Tom, right?
Yeah.
And you was like, yo, this dude cut a whole haircut with attachable. And Tom said, you can't do that. You said, no, I watched this nigga do it.
Yeah.
Right? So like, so that's how I learned how to cut hair.
Yeah.
I learned with 76s, right? So I'm going to the shop thinking that everybody cut like this. Cause I came to your shop, that was my really first time going to like stepping out the shop that I started in. Like I left before, that's why I met Hawk. Well, I was on the Hawk for the second time. Cause I first when I first met Hawk, he was a teenager. He had like these business cars, holding the clips like this, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how he was on a car, right? So then years later, how things come full circle, I saw him at Furious Styles in Kennesaw. So I was there for a few months. Of course, I went back to my other shop, you know, because I had my loyalty there still, you know. So I went back there, but I learned a lot while I was there in that short bit of time. And Hawk became like this, you know what I'm saying? That's my brother to this day.
Yeah.
So so when I came to the shop, I'm thinking like everybody cuts like this with these tools. So when everybody's telling me that this is so different, I didn't know that. But come to find out, that's the older way of barbering.
Yeah.
I had no idea because the dude taught me he's come from that cloth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, yo, everybody can do this. And but he told me on the left, like, everybody can't do it. But I said, man, whatever. It's clippers. I'm thinking it's the same thing.
No
you know
lie. I think you had maybe one that wasn't like a detachable, but most of your stuff was the detachables, if I'm not mistaken, right? You had 76ers, you had the Andes detachables.
Yeah.
What was those? The
ZRs.
Okay, yeah. And then, so I was like, I think you only had like one corded clipper like at the time, but I'm like, he wasn't, everything was detachable. He had all them damn guards and shit. I was like, bro, this shit is loud as shit. You know, like 76ers is loud as fuck.
Yo, so
you have the black ones, you
so
have the,
that's what I was about to say. So those are
Model 10s, yeah.
So those are Model 10s. Model 10s are loud. They're louder.
As hell.
They're louder than saying sixes.
Yeah, I was like, these they cute, but I was like, nah, bro. What's the other ones? It's like what is it? What do they call it? The B something?
BGRs.
BGRs, yeah. I was like, you had them.
I had
like,
those too. Damn, I had a lot of detachable.
I know. You had like 4 of them shit. I was like, bro, like they all do the same thing.
But shoot, a true story was that, so my joint broke. So when you got the same sixes, you got them brushes that go inside of them, right? So I was new, so I didn't know that they wore out. So that's why I have so many now. So I was at the shop, and this is how I learned how to cut with I learned how to really cut with guards too, because one day they broke.
Oh.
The brushes went all the way down. And once they go all the way down, they don't turn back on.
No, you didn't have the guards on the shit.
This
was
before I
doing
got there.
The clipper over comb.
Right, this is before I got there.
Oh.
So this by the time I got to you, I could use any clipper. But at one time, them joints broke, so I had to fade with the masters, the old haircut. So that's when I learned how to use a master. That's when I started appreciating guards too.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought guards, like, you learn how to cut hair when you're using these. Because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, you're using a guard, you just learn how to cut, because blades of metal, they cut hair different. You know what I mean? But then I found, these are actually good for this.
Yeah.
This created a softer blend.
We would run through so many clippers, like just sharing clippers together. Like, oh, you got those? Like, oh yeah, try these. Like,
Right.
we would go back and forth. Like, oh, they just came out with the new cordless such and such. Like, here, try it. Like, they still got the power. Yeah, like that was a great time. It was just amazing time.
It was a great time.
I know. I wish I would go back into a shop in the right setting.
Yeah.
But it would have, like I said, it would definitely have to be the right setting. I think, working by yourself that's a different challenge. You know what I mean? Like, you went into a suite for a while, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing great, but I don't know. Sometimes you need that challenge, like, you know what I mean? To see like what's going on in the shop. You need to be able to bounce that creativity off of someone else and just, that steel sharpens steel. Like, I miss the camaraderie of everything in the shop. Like, now it's just on me to create it. Don't get me wrong. Like, great atmosphere, but still it's like.
So that was my thing with the suite. So when I first got into the suite, it was challenging. And I was there for 7 years. So like, that was challenging because the camaraderie wasn't there. I got to create on my own. You know what I'm saying? So
I begged him not to go.
Yeah, she did. But
you don't even understand. Like, I became a whole like mathematician. I was like, look, like, this is how much we making and da-da-da. I pulled out ledgers and shit. Like it was my money. Like,
I didn't realize how much money I was making until you told me.
Yeah.
Cause he was like, yo, you make. I said, no, I'm not.
Yes,
and
you
then I was
are.
like, yo, oh, I am. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, he was quiet for the rest of that week. I said, think about it, Andrew. He was like, I'm still gonna go. It's for the kids. I was like,
at the time, I had to do that.
you did.
But it was challenging because like that, and then just understanding. So like, so coming into these suites, right? Everybody's jumping into these suites because for whatever reason it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is like, if you're gonna do that, you have to go with the mentality of you're building a brand.
Yeah.
If you go there just to cut hair, to me is a waste of time.
Yeah.
You gotta build a brand that people respect. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna elevate you to a whole nother level, because now when you're doing that, the way you think got to change. You got to think like a business. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to study other businesses that's branded, because now you could take techniques from them and apply it to your own brand. You know what I'm saying?
I think, it's a misconception that for those that are just coming out of school and just saying like, hey, yeah, like I want to be my own business. I want to be my own boss. And it's a difference between, being your own boss and being your own business.
Right.
Like when you're going into these suites, you definitely got to understand, especially if you don't have any type of clientele, like that's on you. You have to build your clientele. You have to build this name. Like, what is this suite going to stand for? You know what I mean? Like, what are people to expect when they come to this suite? And that's something that you got to make sure that you have that in writing, and you have to make sure that that's what you're aiming for. Like, it can be hard. It can be challenging. I just don't think that people understand how hard and how challenging it can be from a mental perspective and from a financial perspective too.
Facts. And then too, like you said, you gotta build that vibe. So like, I mean, people ain't gonna say it, but I see what people have done. So when I got my suite, I got the art stuff going. I created a whole I guess a lane, because like I had to create that for a vibe to where even if you gotta wait, you cool waiting because it's pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Music is going. You have like some sense in there. Just those little things right there are gonna make people respect it and even wait. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't like waiting.
Yeah.
But I feel like that if you wait and you being entertained as you wait, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But just building all of that and understanding how to do that properly, that's when it becomes down to like, all right, so you're going to have trial and error. So I'm going to do this may not work, but this may work.
Yeah.
But you got to keep trying different things to keep on pushing your brand and elevating it. Because like you said, there's no one to bounce off of anymore. It's all on you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that once you get to the point to where, okay, so me, I left coming, I done got the point to where I done did everything here. So it's time for me to go for a new challenge. And that's when I opened a barbershop up. And even my CPA was like, yo, you're getting too big for this. You need to just do something else. And my thing was like, okay, with the shop, I wanted, like we had down there, I want to have a shop to where people come here, learn, grow, build, and create their own stuff. You know what I mean? If you stay, cool. But if you go for your own brand, I'm fine with that too. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that if you could elevate people around you, right?
Yeah.
And then if once they leave, it's gonna be easy to fill that chair because they're gonna have nothing but good things to say about you.
Yeah.
Not everybody will. In the beginning, you still learn. So in the beginning, yeah, I made mistakes because I'm still learning how to be a shop owner. I was a barber for so long. I ain't never had an owner hat on. You know what I mean? And with that sense, it's like sometimes decisions that you make can be fatal to the business because you're making decisions based on a person rather than a business.
Yeah.
So I was doing decisions based on a person rather than a business. And at the end of the day, in the beginning, it was tough for me because I'm thinking I'm looking out, but really I'm not looking out for the business. I'm doing too
What's
much
best for you.
catering.
Yeah.
I'm doing too much catering to a person. And some people appreciate it, some people don't. And then the thing about that that gets you off balance is that now you have a situation that you may not be, I guess in a sense you're failing this person and you're taking it personal, but it's not on you to make them successful. They have to want it too. You can assist with it, but if they don't want it as much as you do, you kind of wasting your time a little in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So I found all that out, and I also found out no matter what you do, some people just not gonna be happy.
Yeah.
And you gotta be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm learning from this space. But the goal is that everybody grow. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody around me, I learn from each of them. So it's like, okay, let me have a situation to where I can still create what I've had for myself, for everybody else around me. Because even in the shop, like Ty, The reason I like Ty so much because Ty's personality was one that, like, you know what? People like him. He reminded me of Mike. 'Cause Mike was my first shot. People just liked him. You know what I'm saying? And they got good hearts. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they got their other sides too.
Yeah.
But for the most part, them some good dudes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Like Ty is like one of my favorite people too. You know what I'm saying? I call Ty right now. You know what I'm saying? But he just, the way he think, and he'll tell you like, yo, he'll tell you that you wrong.
Yeah.
You need people like that around you. You know what I'm saying? And just,
The accountability, like, yeah, and still made sure that he kept the flow of the shop like very, very upbeat.
Right.
We like I said, we had some hitters, man.
right. And Ty, I saw him a few months ago. So you remember the time you challenged me? He's like, I forgot all about that.
He challenged you to what?
So he had it a cut. Was you there that day? I remember he had it a cut. He's like,
Was this when he was in the corner and he wasn't like in the back room with?
yeah.
Okay.
So he's in the corner. He had to this cut. He's like, yo, Rand. I'm like, what's up? Spin it around. Yeah, what you gonna do? I said, you serious right now? I said, all right, bet. So I cut some hair and I threw it. I spent homie around, right? He's like, oh, I said, yeah, ain't no answers on that, G. And Hawk was like, oh. And Ty like, you got it, man. You know what I'm saying?
We, like I said, man, that place was just so just precious. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to have just the fun. Like, I've never had so much fun in a shop like that too.
Yeah.
So,
And you know something, like my what's it called when you, what's it called, coming moment, what is it called? They say
what, your coming to Jesus
no,
moment?
no, not actually Jesus. I'm talking about like what is it called? Your defining moment in the shop. So it was when you told me, you said, I can't wait for Tuesdays. And because I work on Tuesdays and back.
Yeah.
So I work on Mondays. And I'm like, oh, snap. She like that here. All right, cool. I fit. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it took a minute like I said, I'm around 11 new people. You know what I mean? I'm like, I've never been in a shop that big before. You know what I'm saying? But for Hawk to invite me to that, I was like, you can do this. You know what I mean? So when I got there, it's like me covering stuff up. Like, I've never been around nobody. So I don't know what's going on here. Because the shops I've been in, the shop I was at, it was like that. It's like, it's always a competition. And it wasn't always healthy. Between me and Mike, it was. But other people wasn't always healthy competition. It was like, people get green.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
So that moment was a defining moment for me, and I was like, I appreciate you saying that. And then it was like another time when Q came to me, I was doing like this fade on somebody, and Q came up to me, and I was still, everybody think I talk for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? So Q came up to me, he was like, yo, that's fire. You remind me of a little version of me when I was younger. I said, yo, that's a compliment. I think you fire. Right? So then right after that, I guess it broke the ice, because then here comes Tariq. Yeah, man, you fire, man. Charlie Spin. I said, oh, now you want to talk to me, nigga? I've been here for a month now. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it ended up working out because I ended up being cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it came down to. Because then we went to this one. The ice really got cracked was when we went to Step when he did the mogul ball.
oh, damn, that's right.
So that's when they was like, I remember he was like, yo, Rand, you don't talk. I thought you was better than me. I said, nigga, I don't know you. And what that I don't know.
I think that was Steps, like, was that his first year?
That was his first year.
The young
Yeah, it was his first year. And that was
I'm gonna get y'all some photos for this because I still got those photos from that night. But
yo, that's what
we got fly and we went to that young moguls ball and we had a table, we had a ball. Like you said, it's really hard to create an atmosphere where everybody gets along.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, all 12 got along, from me, you, Peasy, like everybody really just connected. And I think everybody understood like why we was here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we was here because we was tired of coming from those type of shops with those type of energies. I know what I came from back home, and it wasn't the healthiest. So looking for a new home and something that's going to be healthy, where we all are just trying to continue to climb this ladder and just grow. Like, sky was the limit, and sky is still the limit, but it definitely taught me just how to tap into going to the next level. And it was like every day we just leveled up. I looked forward to coming to work, you know what I mean, and to barbering. And sometimes you can run out of your steam, you know what I mean? Like, it can call on you, or if you're not in a positive space, then you can be like, I don't know if this is for me, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've seen a lot of great barbers, quit just due to the toxic, space that we was in and just being like, yeah, nah, I'm about to go do something else. And it's like, you have a lot of talent, and unfortunately, like, the shop is draining, you know what I mean?
Right.
Taking away from that. So I was just so thankful, you know, that we was able to go and pull up to Young Moguls Ball and hair shows and Browner Brothers, and I still have to pull him out to
Here you
events.
go.
Because you know it's the truth. Like, yo, let me tell y'all, like, as fire as Macho is, and for y'all that don't know, they don't even know. See, we got nicknames and stuff. They don't even know. For as fire as Macho is, though, like, people be like, oh, I've never met him. Like, and I was like, yo, you gotta start showing you more on this camera. You gotta start doing your personality. Like, you gotta start coming to these events. And he'd be like, for what? I'd be like, yeah,
Oh,
boy,
God.
get on her.
So
For what? Like,
So Ray was on the show. We talk about that. You know what I mean? Ray said the same thing. I brought you up on the show too. I'm like, yeah, man, Lauren be getting on me.
what?
So matter of fact, now we here. 'Cause I said it on the show. You go see it. So I'm gonna say it in person now. You told Steve on me. I ain't like that. Girl, you got Steve here. I'm saying like, yo, I didn't like it. It was funny. So I'm saying like, yo.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, I know you. Okay. So you cut Steve here, and you was like, yeah, we going to the show. Randy never goes. And Steve said, Randy, why you don't never go to the show? I'm like, he looked right. Steve looked right at me. Why you don't never go, Randy? I'm like, I don't know, Steve.
Exactly.
And Brandy right there, like, yeah, Randy, you should come. And you over there, like, I'm like, all right, man, I guess I'll go. And matter of fact, I think it's why I went to Young Moguls Ball, because of that conversation.
It was for the better good.
Yeah, you was right.
Will we be here?
You're right, we wouldn't be.
We need this in the community.
Yeah, that's true.
We need this in the barber community. Like, we have to start showing up in these places. You see it's starting to get oversaturated. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just want to see more familiar faces, if that's okay. I want to see you in, you know, these magazines. I want to see you get all the accolades and shit. I want to see you get your flowers from someone other than me. You know what I mean? Like, the world has to see and has to know who Randy Cuss is, and we just got to do it. You got to step out your comfort zone. This podcast is you stepping out your comfort zone, but we got to keep pushing out that bubble.
So going to comfort zones, let's talk about some stuff you got going on. So,
okay.
So how was it cutting on TNT? Like was that a surreal moment for you once you got that deal done?
I wasn't even supposed to be at the shop that day. You know what I mean? Like, I was going there to cut my man's who was the assistant coach of the Hawks at the time, Charles Lee, who is now the head coach of the Hornets. So shout out to him.
I didn't know that. Congrats, Charles. I remember Charles.
Congrats,
Yeah,
yeah.
congrats.
So, man, I'm so happy and proud for him. But yeah, it's crazy because at the time when I was cutting him, we was talking and I was like, yeah, I just don't never know who nobody is in Atlanta. Like, you know, like, so I don't get starstruck easy. And he was like, well, you got to know who these people are. I was like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But I got the hot towel on him and I was like this guy coming in, he's old. I said, he's tall. I said, but he looks a little older. He could have played. I don't know.
Right.
And I took off the towel. He was like, girl, that's Steve Smith. And I was like, who? And he was like, that's Steve Smith. I said, who do you play for? He was like, who didn't he play for? Like, girl, you don't know. So I'm like, I'm thinking he's joking. He's thinking I'm joking because, like I said, he had the towel on, so he didn't know. And when he got up, he beelined over there, you know, to him and introduced himself. And then Steve asked for a cut. And I kept it real with Steve. I was like, my man say you NBA legend. I don't know who you are because I'm a diehard Laker fan. And he was like, yeah, remember when you beat us with, you know, Portland? And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, everything clicked and I was just like, all right, bet. So me and Steve developed, you know, a friendship like no other, you know, and from there he brought me to NBA TV, which was TNT 2, and the rest was history. You know, like, I got the call back, you know, come cut me at the studio. Then I started cutting other people at the studio, and that's when it dawned on me, like, Ty was just like, you don't even know who you like working with. Like, nigga, that's, he was like, that's Zeke. And I was like, okay. He was like, no, like, that's, like, you don't know. Like, that's a bad boy. It's like everybody, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm younger, so I'm like, okay, well, I kind of know, but I don't understand like how impactful the older generation, you know, was, unless you was like really a standout figure, you know, like. But I would have known, you know, who they was just off of seeing them on the street and stuff, and it was just like, damn, like, I think like the first time when I had met Vince Carter, and I was like, yo, because I remember the dunk contest.
We talked about that last week.
Because it was in Oakland.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, yo, as a matter of fact, it was in Oakland at the time I was in high school. So I was like, yo. I looked at his arm. I was like, it's not broken. He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I just knew you was going to have like some type of effect like with doing that. But that, I want to say that happened like 2017, and I had moved out here, like I said, July 2016. So yeah, everything kind of happened relatively quickly, but I do like to say, you know, that's what I prayed for. You know what I mean? Like, that was literally what I prayed for. I prayed to come out here and work on set, and me not being specific, it was just like God was like, okay, here you go, like, you gonna work on set. But look, I appreciate you having me here. I thank you for you just even allowing me to be a part of what you're doing. Continue to grow, continue to step out of your comfort zone. I love you. Whatever you need, you got it. But yeah, let's continue to rock out, man. It's 2025. Like, it's I know you almost 10 years. So yeah, man.
I love you too.
Love you, bro.
Thanks for coming.
For sure, macho man.
All right, peace.
All right.